guys, it's Lex and welcome back to Fallout 3. So today we are going to start making our way over to do a little bit of the DLC here. The next quest that I actually really like to do is this Aiding the Outcasts quest. I usually like to do it when I'm like between level 5 and level 7. So we're level 6. We're right in the middle there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. This is, like I said, one of the DLC ones. So if you only had the vanilla game of this, or you only ever played the just original regular no DLC game of this, you wouldn't have done this DLC before. It's up there. I like it. It's fine. It's not my favorite one, but you get something pretty neato with this one. And I like to do this quest so early on because of what you get. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're probably not going to actually start the DLC. It's going to depend on how long it takes us to get there because this is kind of far away. So we'll see how long it takes us to get there, but we are going to make our way to where it is. So it's down here. The Red Racer factory is down this way. If we had already found the Red Racer factory, I would have been able to just fast travel there. It's like right next to it is where they put it. So it's nice and easy to get to here. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take us. And I know that I've mentioned it before, but it's really odd that we haven't run into Brian Wilkes yet. So I'm thinking that if we don't run into him on our way to the Red Racer factory, that he might be broken, which is not stellar because we need him for a quest. So we're gonna see if he shows up here. I'm hoping that he does. Oh, there's a little mole ratty. Achoo! Thanks, dog mate. You're the best. Okay. That was a waste of a bullet. Yeah, so we need to run into Brian Wilkes for him to give us the quest Those. The quest is called Those. And we could probably just do the quest without him giving it to us, but kind of rather that he gave it to us. Should be over here. We should be near where his house is. Oh no, here we go. This is Grey Ditch here. You want to watch out for these ants. They shoot fire. If you can, you want to shoot them in the antennas if there's other ants around, because they'll frenzy and attack each other, which is better than attacking you. Die, please. Thank you. And I only ever bothered taking the nectar because you don't really need the other stuff. So let's see if Brian's over here. You in there? No. Well, we could wait here and see if he shows up, but we're in the middle of doing something. So let's worry about him later. And just carry on with our quest that we are trying to do. I see you over there. I'm curious where he is. If I come back to Grey Ditch later and I still haven't run into him, what I'll probably end up doing is coming back to Grey Ditch and then just waiting. And I'll cut that out of the video whenever we go to do that. But I'll probably just end up waiting to see if he shows up eventually. And if he doesn't, we're going to have to just carry on with the quest. Then hopefully he'll decide to grace us with his presence at some point. But most of the time I run into him near the Super Duper Mart. So that's why I thought it was so weird that he wasn't there. That eyebot exploded. Choo. Alright, and I would put the radio on because I love Galaxy News Radio a lot. I like it way more than how they have the radio stations in Fallout 4. But I would have copyright strikes like all over all my videos if I had the radio on while I was playing. So that's kind of sucky.
Oh!
That we don't have it on, but it's okay.
Ah! Oh! Ah!
Oh, just die. Wow, all these raiders have freaking assault rifles, and that's crazy to me. They never have assault rifles, like ever. I also went the total opposite direction of the way I usually go to get here, which is kind of funny. Because I was so worried about finding Brian Wilkes. No. Okay, so if you go to the end of the road here, turn left. There's a raider up there. He's got like 3 or 4 attack dogs, and he has a missile launcher. So watch out if you go that way. We're gonna go this way because the place that I want to go is over there, and I don't really feel like dealing with the missile launcher raider at the moment, and I'd rather just discover the Red Racer factory. And if you go down this way, which is the way that we're going to be going, there's usually a bunch of raiders in this area down here where there's this fenced-in spot. So we'll go in there and kill them real quick, and then we'll be on our merry way. Let's use our assault rifle. We haven't used it yet. I like the Chinese assault rifle better, but don't have one. Oh my goodness. You've completely taken me by surprise. I never would have guessed that you were here, raiders. Where'd that other one go? Alright, so Aiding the Outcasts starts through this door. And I remember doing this Aiding the Outcasts was one of the first times that I ever saw the feral ghouls in the game. Because like I said, I only had the Game of the Year edition, so I kind of always did this mission early. I don't know. But this was one of the first times I'd ever run into feral ghouls, and they scared the ever-living hell out of me, just because I'm not one for like scary games, and the noises that they make are like super creepy if you're not into scary games at all. So they genuinely like somewhat terrified me the first time that I played this game. Understandably, as someone, you know, like I said, that is not into scary games at all. There's only a couple down here, so it's not too bad. And we're like so early on in the game that they're nothing anyway. This isn't like the ones in 4. the ghouls in Fallout 3 are much different than the ghouls in Fallout 4, and also kind of different than the ghouls I ran into when I was playing New Vegas. The ghouls in this one are like, the regular feral ghouls are pretty easy to kill, and then like you'll notice this one was a roamer. He has like armor on, so they're a little bit harder to kill. But the thing that freaked me out in Fallout 4 is one of the hardest kind of ghouls to kill in Fallout 3 are the Reavers. They're like the stronger ones. And feral ghoul Reavers are like super common in Fallout 4. Like they're not a big deal. Like they're just almost just like another regular ghoul. And glowing ones are harder to kill in that one, I think, than Reavers. But the first couple of times that I was playing, or the first time I was playing Fallout 4 and I ran into a feral ghoul Reaver, I was like, oh shit. And then it just wasn't a big deal at all. So if you kill those guys and then you come down here to the left and go down this broken escalator, it looks like there isn't really anything down here. But if you turn to the right, there's a bunch of these glowing mushrooms which you can't pick up because we're not playing Fallout 4, we're playing Fallout 3. But there's Jet, and there's like a sawn-off shotgun and bullets and a couple other things down here that you may want to pick up. I always pick up all the cigarette packs because, like I said, they're worth a lot of bottle caps for you to sell if you're somebody that likes to try to make a bunch of money. And then there's also purified water down here, which I never use, but it's down here. The Braxo cleaners, and then looks like this guy went in there to hide from the ghouls and then died. So that's what's over on this side. But if you come down here and you go over onto the other side, it looks like you can't get over there, but you totally can. Just scooch on down. There we go. And over here, there is a setup where it looks like somebody was like practicing to shoot stuff. So the only thing that you really are going to want off this is the buff out, but once you take it, everything's gonna fall off of his little stand there. And then if you go across from him, go in the back where these sandbags are, there is usually a BB gun and some BBs and some other random things that you might want to pick up here. Hooray for us. Okay. I always love that, though, that it looks like there's going to be nothing over there, and then there's hidden treasures. That's kind of what this game is, like, about, though. You don't think there's going to be anything there, and then you turn around and there's a bunch of cool stuff. I totally could miss some neat stuff, though, because, like I said, I haven't played this in quite some time now. Alrighty. I always usually take that harmonica, but I don't know why, but I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to take the crutch. Don't worry about that gunfire. They're not going anywhere. Alright, so these are the Brotherhood Outcasts, and sometimes there's a guy, like the commander, that whenever you first come up the stairs, he like talks to you, but it's not a big deal if he doesn't show up. I'm gonna go ahead and like steal stuff from all these super mutants, by the way, that they killed. Free stuff for me. So the Brotherhood Outcasts are like, I don't want to explain this wrong and have people be like, you don't know what you're talking about. They're guys that used to be part of the Brotherhood, obviously, and they're not anymore. From what I understand, it's because they disagreed with Elder Lyons. And Elder Lyons is the like guy that was the leader of the Brotherhood of Steel before Elder Maxim in Fallout 4, I believe. That's, you know, that's my understanding of it. And Elder Maxim is actually in this game, apparently, just like McCready is. I'm gonna have to, like, check it out for myself whenever we get to that point. Because, like I said, I haven't played this in a long time, so I haven't really given it much thought. But in Fallout 3, the Brotherhood is, like, different than in Fallout 4. At least in my opinion. There's a first aid thing underneath this desk here if you guys need it.
All mutants have been put down. Outcasts, proceed to the base.
Okay, I'll go to the base in a minute, and I'm not an outcast. Yeah, but the Brotherhood of Steel is different, in my opinion, in Fallout 3 than they are in Fallout 4. I feel like in Fallout 3, while they still don't like super mutants, they still don't like ghouls and that kind of thing, because they feel like they're detrimental to the wastes or whatever. I also love that there's sexy sleepwear in this locker, because this is like an office building. They're not as, like, blatantly, I'll say, racist, for lack of, like, a better thing. Like, they're not as, like, blatantly like that in Fallout 3 as they are in Fallout 4. Like, in Fallout 4, they're just like, no, everybody that's not a human is terrible, and we don't care, and we're gonna kill all of them. Like, whether they're synths or whatever, they just want to kill them. And there's kind of, like, there's inklings of that in 3, but it's nowhere near as prevalent and nowhere near as out. Ooh, I'm gonna take your stuff. Yeah, I know you people are gonna think I'm crazy because I'm not taking that power armor, but you'll find out why I didn't take it in a little bit. But yeah, I just feel like the Brotherhood is just different in Fallout 3 than they are in Fallout 4. They're just not like they are in Fallout 4. And I don't know if that was done purposely, because, like, Fallout 4 is based in time before Fallout 3, I think. Pretty sure. Timeline is a little, like, weird for me because I'm bad at stuff like that, but I don't know if they're more so like that. Oh no, the start of Fallout 4 is the start of this war that happened. So no, I'm a liar. Fallout 4 starts before this game, but once you, like, wake up out of your cryogenic stasis or whatever the hell, it's after this one. So yeah. So I don't know if it's just because, like, the Brotherhood disagreed with Elder Lion so much that they, like, totally changed everything that they were doing. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Don't listen to me. I'm just rambling and a crazy person. But we're here now.
All right, local. Mind explaining what you're doing here? How the hell did you hear my signal? It's not broadcast on a standard frequency. Oh, I see. You've got one of those wrist-mounted computers. Well, well. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that fancy? Listen, kid. Maybe you could help us out. We've been looking for someone like you. Why don't you head inside and talk to Protector McGraw? I'll radio ahead and let him know you're coming. Marill calling in. Yeah, we took care of him. Listen, I'm sending down a local. You'll want to talk to this one. Yeah, exactly. Marill out.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Brotherhood is not as terrible in Fallout 3 as they are in Fallout 4, if that makes sense. Alright, so we're gonna do a little bit of traveling back and forth here for a second, so I will be back in a moment. I'm gonna go back to Megaton and get rid of some stuff, because there are a lot of things in the outpost that we're at that I want. That I'm Alright, so I like to save before I get onto this elevator, because I've had this game glitch out on me so many times of getting on this elevator and the game getting, like, stuck with you going up and down the elevator. So I just do it as, like, a precautionary measure.
All I'm saying is, why can't we just ice the guy and use his computer ourselves?
gave orders. It's that simple.
Come on, Ted. How long are you gonna let McGraw screw us over like this?
Dogmeat also will not come down here with you. What you can do is leave him at Megaton if you want to, or you can tell Dogmeat to go back to Vault 101 and wait for you. Or you can just try to get him to stay up at the top here. A lot of times I take him back to Megaton and tell him to just wait inside my house and to stay there until I come back. But I didn't do that yet, and you'll see why in just a second. Also, we're only wearing a Vault 101 jumpsuit, and all I have is an assault rifle. The rest of my inventory is basically empty, and that's just because I wanted to have more room to loot from these people while I'm here. The first time that you come in here, they will not attack you. So you don't have to worry about really having anything while you're here. You'll be okay.
All right, you. Keep your weapons holstered, your hands to yourself, and your mouth shut. Follow me.
Shut up. Alright, so we could follow him and do whatever he says, but we're not going to. We're gonna go past him here, and when you go through this first doorway, if you turn to the right, there's another doorway here, and then there's another door. So you go in, and it looks like there's really nothing in here. It just looks like skeletons and garbage. But if you move this thingy with all the Abraxo cleaners in it, which I'm gonna pick those up anyway, this is full of jet and stuff. So I take it just because I usually sell them. I like to use them to get themes for my house and things like that. But if you're someone that uses jet and uses buff out, there's a bunch of it right there. So he wants us to follow him. Like I said, we're not doing that. We're going to go up here through this other doorway, and there's just a couple of weapons and some stuff up top here. I basically stripped this place. Just because there's so much stuff here that I want. There's a lot of stuff here. Power fist. Sometimes it has a combat shotgun in it instead of that gun that I did get, in case that was not a gun that you like needed. That usually will change for you. Could take the food to sell it, but whatever. Okay. So after you do that one, come back down. Shouldn't you fuck off? You can't get in here yet. That's part of the DLC quest, but you can still go around in here and get a decent amount of stuff. There's a scrap metal and, you know, odds and ends in here that you might want if you're like me and you just try to pick up all the scrap metal. There's one more room I want to go in before we go do what he actually wants us to do. So they want us to go in there, and we will in a little bit, but we're going to go in here first. This is one of my favorite, like, Easter eggy type things in this game, and I don't even know if it's actually supposed to be an Easter egg, but that dead guy is a Gary. And if you've played this game, you know who I'm talking about it when I say that he's a Gary. That's my favorite vault, is the Gary vault. It makes me so happy. So I just love that there's a Gary in here, and that, you know, they went to the vault and they probably brought him back. They brought him back, and you can see that his one arm is missing. And his arm that's missing is the arm that probably had the Pip-Boy on it. So I like to think that they brought him back here to cut his arm off, to try to use his Pip-Boy to get into the thing that we're doing here. That's why they were so interested in me and so eager to let me come down here, because they need my Pip-Boy. And they'll explain all that in a minute, but that's just a little thing that I like. All right. There's a bunch of stuff in here I want to. So I'm going to try to take a bunch of this stuff before it starts the dialogue here, but if it starts the dialogue, it's not a big deal.
Sir, I'm going to say again that I don't like this idea.
Noted, Defender. That'll be all.
Yes, sir. If you're here to help, then help. If not, back off.
Keep your distance, what? Don't... So you're the one Morell sent down. I'll be perfectly honest. I'd trust a Wastelander to shine my power armor, and even that's pushing it. But you do have that computer there on your wrist. I can see now that Morell made the right call. Maybe you can be useful after all. Fine, I get it. I'm not trying to intimidate you here, I just need your help. And we can both come out of this better off than we are now. That computer on your wrist there, I need that, and I need you to use it, okay? That's it. No one's going to hurt you. Records indicate there's some high-value tech in this base, but we can't get to it. The armory is sealed by a blast door, and we can't get it open. We're pretty sure anyone who completes the facility's VR simulation program will gain access, but it requires a certain interface. Unfortunately, we don't have one. You do, right there on your wrist. I need you to go into the simulator and complete that program, which will unlock the armory. You'll get a share of the gear, of course. It's the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska from Chinese communists. It was a pretty significant event in American history, according to our scribe. I won't lie to you. It's heavy combat, safety protocols disengaged. That means you die in the sim, your body goes into massive cardiac arrest. You're still listening, so I'm going to assume you're interested. But time's wasting. Sibley can take you to the pod. Olin will get you briefed. If you want to walk away, you're free to leave. My men won't stop you.
Okay, so they want us to do the, like, exactly what he said. You know, it's the liberation of Anchorage. So it's more stuff that I guess has to do with, like, what would have been at the beginning of Fallout 4, like, lore wise, I suppose. So I'm gonna finish taking all this stuff, and then we are actually gonna leave and then come back again. So I know I said it at the beginning of this thing, but this elevator is finicky, so if you're like me and you're worried about losing a whole bunch of progress, save before you get on it. Alright guys, well I just came back to Megaton. I just dropped off all of my stuff. I'm still just wearing the Vault 101 suit and only have my assault rifle. I'm gonna tell Dogmeat just to stay here and then fast travel back to Bailey's Crossroads to finish or start our DLC for the Anchorage stuff. But I'm going to end this episode here, and then I'm going to start the next one back up whenever we get back to Bailey's Crossroads. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. As always, please feel free to leave me suggestions in the comments down below for anything I can do to make the Let's Play more enjoyable for you. But have a great rest of your day, and I will see everybody in the next video.